engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Faith on Film. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Isaac Hernandez, your host, here with my co-host, Holly McClure. Holly, are you staying warm? Because it's pretty cold.
I'm staying warm and cozy. As much of the nation is not, but I tell you, it's a very different time of year, and who knows when everyone's going to be watching this show, but everyone's going to remember when we're talking about now, because the whole nation was affected.
Absolutely. And you know, that is what's funny, because somebody might see this show in on demand in the summers and go, what are they talking about? It's warm. No, we're taping this in January, and it is very cold here in Texas and really across practically the whole country, isn't it?
Practically the whole country. So everyone will remember this storm of 2026. That I don't think we'll forgotten.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, though.
What do we got today?
Well, we have a very warm show. You like how I transitioned that one?
I like the transition, yes.
You know, I'm very excited about my guest today because I've known him since he was, I say a kid because anybody under 40 is a kid to me nowadays. But he was a young man that used to come to ICBM, the media conference that I'm a part of, that I'm a board member of. And one thing that I really appreciated about him was how eager he was to learn, how eager he was to just pick up everything he could about media. And, you know, that's something that we kind of lack a little bit sometimes in our young people today. But there he was. And you know what? He was part of several pretty major films where he, you know, wherever he could insert himself to learn, he would. Yes. So he was even a part of, I think, one of the episodes of The Chosen as like an assistant, assistant second unit director or something like that.
Right.
But anyway, so here now, years down, he and his wife started a production company. He married, by the way, while this journey's going on, but him and his wife started a production company, and they produce a couple of things, including, you remember we talked about this some time ago, a series that was it was a combination of The Office and The Chosen.
Yes.
Yes, Promised Land. So he and his wife are the ones that produced that. But now he's done his directorial debut. He's directed a movie that is coming out this February 5th. In theaters nationwide, and it actually, by the way, is nominated as he's one of the finalists for Best Picture, Best Theatrical, and I think Best Actress or something. So it must be a really good movie called Still Hope. So I'm excited to have him on the show today. What we're going to do is take a look at the trailer right now, and then come back with Richie Johns, director of Still Hope.
I've got to be home in a couple hours. What's the plan for tonight? I kind of feel sick. Why'd you park so far away? Where am I? I want to go home.
Your old life is dead. This is your new home.
It's possible that Hope is just a runaway teenager. But the fact that somebody else is involved and has since gone off the radar means that we can't rule out the possibility of an abduction. We are going to do everything in our power to find your daughter.
The more I trust you, the better your life is going to be.
You think she might be stable enough to come home?
I don't believe home is the best place for her. In cases like this, the physical recovery is just the beginning of the healing process. I wish I knew the right things to say.
We just got her back.
She's not back. We need to do what's best for her. This is a safe space.
All the girls here have gone through, you know, what I went through.
Yeah.
I just feel so angry.
You did something incredibly brave. You asked for help. Everybody heals in their own way. Gerard, you get to choose.
Shelter from this storm.
Richie, welcome to Faith on Film, my friend.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Happy to be here.
Now, we just finished seeing the trailer to Still Hope. Looks like a pretty heavy movie. Can you tell us a little bit more, outside of what just we see on the trailer, a little bit more about what this movie is all about?
Yep, definitely. Yeah, it's a very inspiring story. Heavy at points. We wanted to be authentic in portraying it, but basically, yeah, we took two different girls' true stories of being trafficked, and we combined them into one character, that's Hope. And we go through her journey of being abducted, rescued, which is actually halfway in the film. And then the second half of the movie, we focus on what does restoration truly look like and the journey to healing. That's, it really picks up where most trafficking films kind of leave off, right? Everybody kind of focuses on the rescue, but we take an honest look at this path to restoration. It's incredibly powerful. It's heavy at points, but at the end, it's really a story about forgiveness and what it took for, the two, courageous heroes that inspired Hope's journey say that without forgiveness, it's when they truly forgave that they were finally free. And so that's what the movie's all about.
So is that pretty much what you would say makes this film a little more unique than, say, all the other? Because there's been a lot of human trafficking films. Tell me exactly what you think would make this film unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, we didn't, embellish or, make it an action movie. There's very intense moments, especially in the first half of the film, but it picks up where I think all of the other ones leave off, right? And, when we were creating the film, we had a few different things in mind that we really wanted to focus on. One, we wanted to show that it's a domestic issue, right? Many trafficking films sometimes take place internationally, and it doesn't feel like it could happen, in just everyday Midwestern America, right? And so showing that it could happen to anybody. It takes place in a small town. Also, Hope comes from just a normal family. I think some people have preconceived ideas of what a trafficking victim, how they enter into that situation. Hope had a normal family, two parents, a sister. We meet them. They go to church in the beginning of the movie, great family. And she kind of stumbles into this situation very innocently. She sneaks out, meets a boy online. He isn't who he says he is. And then she finds herself stuck in this terrible situation that we can never fully understand. And so seeing that, it can take place domestically, it's happening under our noses. We don't even realize it. But then, like I'd mentioned, the focusing on the recovery. And that is what makes this film so unique, taking an honest look at the healing journey. That, it takes time, and everybody's path is unique. But taking a look at the restorative power of forgiveness and seeing that forgiveness isn't a weakness, but it's a courageous step towards, freedom and peace.
Right. Now, Richie, I've known you for a long time, since you were, I was going to say a kid, because anybody under 40 right now at my age is a kid. Okay. But you were a young man. I don't know if it were maybe your early 20s or something when you used to come to ICVM.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that I really appreciated about you was how eager you were to learn this career, to learn this field of filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And you sure did. You eventually just began to participate in a lot of the really some of the big films that are out there as either a production assistant or I'm assuming whatever was needed, you were there to fill that space. But this is, of course, your directorial debut. What was it like to step into that role of a director?
Yeah, it was such a privilege to be trusted to tell these stories in a way that's authentic and true. For me, originally Bethany, who is my better half, my wife, she was the lead producer for the film. Both of us were actually interviewing to produce. A group of filmmakers had kind of started the development of the project. and they were looking for somebody to come in and help kind of bring it to the finish line. And Bethany and I were interviewing to both produce together, and we were excited about that. And then I connected with the executive producer, Brent McMinn, and because they hadn't attached a director, and we connected, and he asked if I would consider directing, which, at that point, I started assistant directing. A lot of my credits were kind of working my way up, but I love the logistics of filmmaking, like managing people and personalities and emotions, and really hadn't been focused on directing at all. I kind of entered the film industry wanting, to direct like most people, and then kind of fell in love with just all aspects of producing. And Brent went out on a limb and took a risk and said, Richie, I think you're the person to direct this film and tell this story. Which is a huge honor. Hadn't really, had an impressive director's reel or, anything to that point. But Brent had a tremendous amount of trust in me. And then Bethany stepped up to be the lead producer. And it was, it was challenging at points, definitely, because like the producer is, stewarding the resources and the budget, and the director spends it all, but is protecting the story. And so, but there's nobody else that I trust more than Bethany to manage the production. But being able to, have my directorial debut and then it exhibiting in theaters nationwide, it's a dream come true.
By the way, that sounds like a marriage to me. We try to spend the money, our wives try to manage it for the household. So let me ask you a little bit of a behind the scenes, more personal question. How was it working with your wife? Because like you said, she's the one that's trying to so in essence, she's kind of over you a little bit. How did that work out? How were dinners at home afterwards?
Honestly, Isaac, it was truthfully, it's like the hardest 3 months of our life. It was, and I'd often tell people, I need prayer for really just compartmentalization, because, I was director, right? Focused on telling the story. I was still a producer, right? Being able to speak into, personnel issues or, just the logistics of locations, trying to problem solve with Bethany. But a big thing for me, was that third box was I'm still husband, right? And so when we come home at night, it's very hard, especially during seasons of production, you're in it 24/7. And so it was a huge learning experience. We are so much stronger on the other side. It was incredibly hard. And the biggest thing for me was when I would kind of move boxes. And this is a very just simple way of thinking about it, but like when director would kind of step into producing conversations that, I had to trust Bethany to handle. But then it's also problematic when like director is husband at home, right? And the director moves over to the husband area. It's like, let's just, go on a date night. And we've gotten much better, really, since all of that began.
Wow. Yeah. See, I get calls all the time during shows.
Busy man.
Well, I tell you, I'm very proud of you guys. I remember when you did get engaged, by the way, so I've kind of followed your journey there a little bit.
Wow.
And I love, you guys actually have your own production company together, don't you?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Studio 523. And fun fact, everybody asks, like, what's 523? It's actually our anniversary. So I named the company so we never forget, but that's always been the goal, was to do it together. So that's where the name comes in, May 23rd.
Right. Well, what do you hope viewers take away from this film, other than just, here's another, because by the way, there has been several movies dealing with, obviously, with sex trafficking, but what do you hope viewers take away from this particular film?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, several things. I think, one, I think the main kind of overarching thing is, for us, Still Hope is really more than a film, right? It's a call to action. Not only does it raise awareness, for the global issue of sex trafficking, but it was created to, educate and mobilize viewers, right? And so that's why we actually created the Still Hope Project that moves audiences both beyond just this general awareness, right? Everybody agrees, sex trafficking is terrible, and sometimes it feels daunting with the statistics that are out there. That just is like, it's such a large issue that that the average person can't contribute or help in any way. But but they can. And that's why we created the Still Hope Project to equip individuals. There's educational resources on there. There's meaningful opportunities to get involved. We've partnered with several organizations for people to have tangible ways to fight this issue. Ending trafficking, requires a collective effort of, churches and nonprofits, communities, and individuals. And so, everybody has to go to stillhopemovie.com and click on the resources page and figure out how they can help. But one last element is, especially in the second half of the film, hope goes to a recovery center that we called Restore in the movie. And there's several places that exist, like this nationwide. One of our core partners is Pure Hope Foundation, and that's what we modeled Restore after. They are in Texas, and it's a recovery center for courageous survivors of trafficking to go and heal. But we really highlight that volunteers and advocates are essential to the healing journey, right? Community is a key part of the healing process. And so, we need faithful volunteers that can walk alongside, with these warriors through recovery. And so, that's ultimately, more of why the film was made. It's a tool and can mobilize people into action.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now, this movie actually has been, is the top 5 finalist in, I think, 2 or 3 different categories at the ICVM Crown Awards. So first of all, congratulations on that. I'm assuming you're planning on attending the NRB conference this year where we will do the Crown Awards?
Oh, yes. Yeah, Bethany and I will both be there.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, again, Bethany, I really would, I think I'm going to have to also have her come on the show and talk about her side. And I'm probably going to ask her the same question. Okay, how was it working with your husband on this? So, so you might want to prepare her. Again, when does the movie come out?
Yeah, so we release nationwide February 5th through the 9th. So tickets are on sale now. So we're trying to get those pre-sales up. But people can go to stillhopemovie.com. But February 5th is when we open.
Okay. Well, Richie, thank you so much for taking time. I know that you guys must probably be crazy busy right now with the fact that the release is coming up now. But thank you for taking time to come on the show with us today. And I look forward to you winning the Gold Crown Award. I'm not saying you will. I'm just saying I hope so, and I look forward to it. So, all right.
We do too. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure.
You bet. Folks, we'll be right back with more Faith on Film.
What makes Capernaum Studios different from other movie studios? We believe in empowering filmmakers to make stories that matter, inspire, uplift, and transform lives. From historically authentic sets to state-of-the-art, fully equipped sound stages, we offer immersive LED and green screen stages, ICVFX virtual production, period to modern sets, a first-century village featured in The Chosen, and much more. We provide everything filmmakers need to focus on what matters in making their vision a reality, producing meaningful content affordably without compromising creativity. Discovering what's possible when creativity meets purpose. Capernaum Studios, empowering filmmakers to make dreams a reality.
If you're looking for a movie with nostalgic charm and a great message, you got to see Jesus Freaks. It is based on a true story about love, faith, and the power of the Holy Spirit that rocked the world 50 years ago during the Jesus Revolution. Written and directed by Nina May, it features Sam and Kevin Sorbo. It is available at JesusFreaksMovie.com and Amazon Prime. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this movie. Get it today at JesusFreaksMovie.com or Amazon.
Wow, Isaac, great interview.
Thank
job. I mean, and it's an interesting topic. We have done and covered several different producers, directors, people talking about trafficking and sex trafficking and children. I mean, from the very famous movies to smaller films. What is so different about this one? What did you find that was kind of unique and makes this different?
Well, again, and I asked him that question because, again, there's been several movies that have to do with sex trafficking. But most of them take you through the whole process of what happened and, how they got trafficked. And they just show all of that journey of being trafficked. And then at the end, they got rescued. And that's it. That's where it ends. This one, they dealt more with what happens afterwards, because even after they get rescued, it isn't like life is, peaches and cream now. There's still things that they have to work through. And in this movie, they went through that kind of, and I think that's why the movie Still Hope is, because, there is hope even after you get trafficked and you get rescued and you still kind of think, well, that, my life is over. There's still hope that that you can be, how would I say, that you can recuperate from this.
You be redeemed. God is a God of redemption.
Absolutely.
He'll redeem the worst situations. And that's such an example of it. Such an example of it.
So that's what makes this movie different. And that's why I think everybody should go out there and watch it. Again, it releases nationwide in theaters February 5th. So look for it. Still Hope.
And then for those who watch this show at a later time, I'm sure it's going to be streamed somewhere. So you have to the title and find out where it's being streamed. Okay, I'm excited about the next thing coming up, because this is a project and a person, two people actually, who are ahead of it, that are near and dear to our hearts. We've known them for years. Let's talk about Prairie Winds.
Prairie Winds. If you remember correctly, a few months ago, we had those two people you're talking about, which is, of course, Joel Binkowski and George Escobar, that are the principals of it. They're the executive producer. He's the writer and director, I believe. Yeah. So we've had him on to talk about it as something in the future, of course. Well, the future is arriving now, because two things. One of them is they have finally released the teaser trailer, which we're going to look at right now. And it is
wonderful. I've seen it. It's like beyond what you would think.
It is. It really is. And of course, it's sort of a new version, let's call it, of you remember the old Little House on the Prairie?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this is sort of like something new coming out called Prairie Winds. So the teaser trailer is out. We're going to take a look at that. But also, apparently, they're going to start production now.
Let me.
Okay. I'll let you reveal it.
Let me know if that's my surprise. Quite so surprise, but anyway. Let me talk about that. Let's watch the trailer first.
Watch the trailer first. All right, let's watch the trailer, and then Holly has a big surprise.
Be strong and courageous. Is this it? Is this our home?
Good Lord works in mysterious ways.
Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged.
Faith is not a shelter. Faith is an axe. It is the grit in your gut that lets you get up one more time than you've been knocked down.
Look at this. Martha, come see this.
Like rain in springtime.
Hello, Emma.
How do you know my name?
Because I'm your grandpa.
How does 11 make the whole loaf so big?
Well, that's the wonder of it. A little bit of life that works in secret until everything rises with it.
You see, Thompson, peace is a fine thing. Until someone builds too close to your door.
You're not just here to build homesteads. You are here to build a revival. You're not here to escape hardship. You are here to conquer it.
Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.
Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. I love the feel and the look of it. Okay, it's not like it's such a surprise. We have talked about it before. But what I love is that they're going to be filming Prairie Winds at Capernaum Studios. And it's going to be on our back lot, and it's going to be eventually part of a tour that we will conduct with Capernaum Studios. So when you come, and by the way, we talked about we're going to be a future theme park. Yeah, if you don't know about that, we'll be talking about that more soon. And it will be part of an attraction that people can go see the sets and can hopefully, if they're even filming, watch a filming. So I'm excited about the not only what they're doing with the story, and it's a series, of course, so it'll go on hopefully for several years, but projected to be done at Capernaum. And that's exciting for us since I'm the marketing director, for those of you who don't know, and I work at Capernaum Studios. So anyway, I'm excited that they're doing this. And I love Joel's vision. George as well is a great writer, but Joel just has that vision for let's take it. He's such a good cheerleader. Let's go above and beyond. And I told him, I'm so happy to see Westerns coming back in as films and series and projects. And although this is kind of like a Little House on the Prairie, this is going to be even more with the spiritual undertones. And biblically, they turn to God and they're not ashamed of it. And, you know, they're going to promote it. And so that's a whole other exciting element.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard Joel say this. And by the way, his favorite word is world class. He always says, this is going to be world class. But correct me if I'm wrong here. From what I understand, they're also talking about being able to camp out at the set, let's say, of Prairie Winds at some point, kind of creating these camp out weekends type of a thing. Did I hear that?
Well, that's Joel.
Is it world
Joel,
class?
he's got his great ideas, and hopefully, I cannot say that that's in the books yet, where you can book a camp out. So until we get to that point, but yes, that is talked about, that they hopefully would have a destination where people could go and camp out. And, it may take a year or two to get this up and going, but hey, Disney dreamed big. Okay, he stood on a plot of land in Orange County and went, look what I want to do with this, and look what it became. So I love when you have visionaries, which both Joel and George are, and you have visionaries that dream big, and I love those kind of people. So so hopefully it will be that kind of a,
I hope
experience.
so. I hope so, because I plan to be one of the first campers.
Me too. If it's in summer. If it's in January like it is right now, heck no. But if it's in summer, I know it. And I love Westerns, and I love being on the horses, and I love that whole feel. It just near and dear to my heart. So I cannot wait for this to become, a set and where it gets built. In fact, Isaac, you'll have to come up. We'll do a show around it when they're getting it done, and kind of let people follow along behind the scenes as it's taking place. So anyway, very proud of our friends who just released the trailer. Folks, if you want to go see the trailer, where can they see that, Isaac?
Well, I believe if you're on YouTube, just go to YouTube and look up Prairie Winds, and that'll take you to their Prairie Winds, Facebook page. You can see the trailer there, and you can follow them and follow all the progress and know exactly what's happening when it's happening.
And he has his own production company, so they're doing other projects as well. So anyway, we are applauding something fun, something interesting and new, and has God in it. So
absolutely, 3 days studios. Look that up. 3 days, plural. 3 days studios. All right, Holly. Well, that does it for today's show, and I know we've got some great shows coming up over the next few weeks. So looking forward to it.
We do. I Can Only Imagine 2 is coming out. And you've got the talent and interviews to tell all about.
Yes. And by the way, next week, I believe you have an interview with, I guess, the singer who's with Tim Timmons. So look for that one next week. All right.
And Brent, the singer from Mercy Me, we will interview with him. So it's going to be fun. You're going to see it. We're going to do a couple of shows on that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, don't forget, everybody, check out our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com. Until next week, take care.
Blessings to everyone.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at faithonfilmtv. Also, visit our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com, where you'll find links to all of our past shows and much more.